Good morning, and thanks for joining us. I'm Libby Dowsett. Your headlines in just a minute. But first, let's go ahead and check in with Corey Johnson. A nice Saturday today.
Yeah, at least for those of you in the Dalles, look at this. This is such a gorgeous view. Stepping out of the way, you can see the mountain off in the distance. Beautiful forest in the Dalles. Other spots, though, right now, they're really cloudy overall. Looking at our temperatures, though, first, sitting in the low 60s in several spots, 60 in Beaverton as well as Hillsborough. Looks like 59 in Scappoose, 61 in Vancouver. So this is the cloud cover I was mentioning, our Rose City camera. The majority of us starting the morning with clouds, but they're going to burn off as we get to the later part of the day. Looking at Futurecast, you can see across the coast and inland that cloud cover. And then as we get to around 2, 3 o'clock, we start to see more in the way of sun breaks. By the evening hours, the coast also seeing more sunshine, but for the most part, it's going to be a mostly cloudy day. But the temperature is going to stay rather warm. Our Astoria column camera near the coast also seeing similar conditions, 59 for us there. A look at your hour-by-hour temperatures, 64 by 11 a.m., bumping up to 72 by 2. 79 looks to be our high, but I have the rest of your 7-day forecast in just a minute.
Thank you, Corey. A Washington grandmother's home is in ruins after her oxygen tank exploded, sparking a massive fire. Luckily, the 77-year-old is alive, though she suffered some serious injuries. She lost everything from her house to all her belongings. Catherine Cook has her story.
She's awesome. I mean, she's like the grandma that everybody wishes they had, you know, just a little feistier, I think.
Sahara Jacobson says her grandmother, 77-year-old Rose McFarland, would never ask for help, but it's what she needs most right now. This is all that's left of her home in Toledo, Washington. That's in Lewis County, north of Castle Rock, after an explosion Monday. Her family believes it was triggered by a malfunction in an oxygen tank Rose uses to breathe, one that touched off a fast-moving fire.
The whole house is gone. My aunt and my uncle and my cousins were living with her too, so they're out. Also, it's devastating.
None of them were home at the time. Sahara says Rose is heavily medicated and recovering in the hospital, unaware that she's lost everything, from family heirlooms to cars. All of it now a pile of rubble. But Rose is still alive. Sahara says that's thanks to her grandmother's heroic neighbors.
They saved her life. They were pulling her out and they got down the porch steps and flames just came right out the front door, right where they were.
Sahara started this GoFundMe, hoping to help her family afford essentials like clothes, toiletries, and transportation to and from the hospital to visit Grandma Rose. She's grateful for the community support and hopeful that Rose's feisty spirit,
she's a fighter. She is.
will bring her through.
And that was Catherine Cook reporting. Fire officials tell us the exact cause of the fire is under investigation. They confirmed the house and several outbuildings were a total loss. As for the fundraiser, you'll find the GoFundMe link in our story on KGW.com. This is what's left of a cell phone after it caught fire inside a patient's room at Legacy Meridian Park Medical Center in Tualatin. The patient told fire crews the phone got hot, began making electrical noises, and started smoking. Hospital staff used a fire extinguisher on it. Thankfully, no one was hurt. New documents show why Portland's most expensive and some argue most controversial homeless shelter is so costly to operate. We're talking about the Northrop shelter in the Pearl District. The shelter is set to close sometime this year, due in part to its high operating cost. Records show the city spent nearly $2 million on a shelter staff alone in a 10-month period. New documents shared with KGW show the shelter operator, the Salvation Army, billed the city of Portland and upcharged them tens of thousands of dollars to hire a temp agency based in LA that provided the shelter staff. Then the temp agency kept a portion of the money.
About 40% of everything the city pays for this shelter is leakage. It's going to middlemen who never touch a homeless person. This money, our money, is being wasted. Forget about whether they should have the shelters or not. I mean, it is the most wasteful model imaginable.
A spokesperson for the city of Portland told KGW, quote, "The Northwest Northrop site has more bed capacity than any other emergency overnight shelter, which requires more staffing and supplies." The city also says the higher costs are driven by rent in a newer building in the high-value Pearl District. The Sunshine Division has a new headquarters, and it received some help from the Portland Timbers to pack hundreds of food boxes for families in need. Since the creation of this program back in 2020, it's handed out more than 150,000 free food boxes.
Everything in your life is more expensive than it used to be. Unfortunately, it's never been tougher.
While food insecurity has grown in recent years, organizations like Sunshine Division are doing their best to help and now have better resources to do so, thanks to their new headquarters in Northwest Portland.
Thousands of families come directly to us to pick out food for their household. We also home deliver to about 500 families every single week.
That home delivery program started back in 2020, and the need for it is still evident.
Here we are over 6 years later, over 150,000 boxes have been delivered all across the metro area. So it's a lot of shelf-stable items you'd want in your pantry. That's things like rice, beans, pasta, soup, cereal, peanut butter, tuna.
Thousands of volunteers help out at the Sunshine Division every year, and Friday they had the help of the Timbers, packing over 800 food boxes to be sent out to the community.
This is coming in hot.
Their visit, a part of the Timbers' 15th annual Stand Together Week.
Just to be able to give back to the people that actually need it, and people that care and want to give back to the city and want to see it flourish for everybody. I think it's super important, and it's great to be a part of it.
The responsibilities were shared, with Bank of America volunteers also helping out.
It's fun to be out here with them today as well, and being able to join together and serving the community is something that we can do and to help out. We're all willing to help. We're all willing to make Portland better.
These boxes set to be received by families in need by next week.
I did this last year, and this is my second go around, and super excited to hopefully continue and keep the tradition going.
And that was Celine Stevens reporting. People can make an appointment to shop at Sunshine Division's Market Style Pantry Tuesdays through Saturdays. If you're interested in being part of the home delivery program, head to their website or contact the Sunshine Division directly.